Penskover, Alderman, District 4.
Elizabeth Whalen.
Jake Lingforth, staff.
Ron Rasmussen, Superintendent, Wisconsin Rapids Public Schools.
Matt Zacher, Mayor.
Susan Faust, committee member.
Ken Day, Raptors.
Hi, Kim. And I'm Dean Veneman. I'll start with the approval of the November minutes.
So moved.
A second.
Any discussion? Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Discuss the development of the pickleball rental court rental agreement.
So yeah, this has been brought up a couple times the last couple of years with people calling the office and asking if they can reserve a court at the pickleball courts over at Weirfield. We've always just kind of said it's always been just first come, first serve, but it's been more it's been coming up more for questions, and so we've done some research and she did find that Pewaukee Park and Rec, they do reserve courts at their pickleball courts, and now that we are building, or 6 more courts will be open this spring and summer, I think we have more of an opportunity to reserve a court or two instead of, because we're kind of limited at Weirfield because it's used so much. I'd hate to make $25 or whatever we decide to make the fee at, to kind of push away the public and just reserve a court. So with having 12 total, kind of gives us a little more availability to reserve a court if people were interested in doing that.
Are there rules on the fence? Like, can people come and if they're there first and take it for 2 hours, 3 hours? or-
No, there's really no rules on the courts right now. It's just, like I said, it's first come, first serve. Just kind of
Has
as
there
a
been
guideline.
complaints about this, or?
There has been, just because there are some groups that are very competitive and they want, like, I guess, amateurs to be there when they're there, so it does kind of come into, that has been brought up, so.
Okay.
If that answers your question.
I can tell you that Lincoln is redoing their tennis courts this summer.
Okay.
And we're also gonna stripe them for pickleball.
Oh, you are?
the
Okay.
Regular tennis courts,
How many?
all 9.
9? That certainly helps.
So you guys would have to put up different nets in for
Correct.
requests?
Correct. We just don't know what that's gonna look like yet.
Mm.
Yeah.
Putting the lines down though.
Okay.
Does the city still have tennis courts? Or
Some over at Mead, but they're not very nice.
So the
Yeah.
district is redoing the tennis courts at both Rams and Lincoln
Okay.
this summer, so.
Nice.
they'll be
Lincoln
active.
doesn't have a tennis team anymore?
Hmm?
Does Lincoln not have a tennis?
Oh, yeah, we
team?
do.
You do, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be striped primarily for tennis,
Oh,
but
okay.
they're also gonna be,
Mm.
I think.
Oh, so,
I think-
oh,
I
you're
think-
adding striping.
I think
got
5
you.
at Lincoln are gonna be striped for pickleball
Okay.
as well.
Are they complete overhaul of the blacktop or no?
No, it's finishing on top.
I see at the top it was marked $25 per day, so are they reserving that for a whole entire day?
We would ask them for a time slot. That'd
Okay.
be $25. Yeah.
Okay. And how long would the time slots be?
That's for something for us to discuss. I think for Pewaukee, it was, if they reserved it for 2 hours, it was still $25, or if they reserved it for 4 hours, it was still $25. So roughly it could be all day,
It was just to guarantee that they had
just the guarantee.
time on a
Yep,
court.
Yeah.
And how would we enforce that?
So what they do, they just put up on the post, a sign saying reserved. Till the people get there, people could use it, but when the people who have it reserved get there, then people would have to get off.
How would they know if it's reserved for me? Like if I reserved it and you're on it and I say it's reserved for me, how would?
They print out, like here they have, if you look on your page 2, there's kind of a guideline that Pewaukee goes with. So the reservation,
receipts,
yeah,
okay.
like a receipt,
Okay.
We're gonna need a pickleball app.
and we could, yeah. So obviously the receipt would go to this person's phone if they have that access, and that's how they would prove it.
Try
any
the text.
problems with this at all, or?
I don't see any problems, but I would not do this until we get the west side, the meet pickleball courts done and open. I wouldn't do it until then.
So what are we looking at for that, for time?
I think we're first on the list for them to do their painting this
Okay.
spring, so it's all weather dependent,
Right,
so.
And you said if we were only gonna do the reservations with certain courts?
I
Or
think,
all the
I
courts?
think I would just keep them over at Mead for right now. Mhm. But. we'll
How
see it
many of
goes.
the, I mean, so Mead's going to have how many courts
Six.
again, remind me?
6 courts
And so
over
we
there.
would do how many of,
I think at most we do 2.
okay.
So are you looking for a motion to go ahead with that, Jay?
No, I think we're just
Discussion?
discussion about it. Yeah, just discuss the development of a pickleball court rental fee agreement. I think we can kind of take the ball from here, bring it back to next meeting, have everyone review their agreement, and then we can vote on it then. But just wanted discussion about it.
Yeah, as long as we had something like you said, like a text or an app, I'm not saying app, you just have a text, you know.
I think the mayor has a good point, though, if there was somewhere where people could go and they could just see, okay, this time slot's reserved, but these are
Mhm.
open, and, you know, put their name in, and, you know,
Yeah.
if that's doable somewhere.
I don't know. Yeah, not necessarily build an app. You gotta pay
Yeah.
10 grand for an app.
Could they go on the Park and Rec website? Can you add it to
Spreadsheet.
We
that?
could probably add something like that, yeah, but I don't think people are gonna go to our website before they drive over there to see,
Oh,
but
that's
we
true.
could put on our website, where court 6 is reserved from 10 to noon today or something like that, just have it
Could
out there.
probably fit that in there as we're
Yeah.
building the new one too.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
Alright.
So approval for estimate on the benches and weigh stations at the dog park?
Mhm.
Susan, do you want to?
This is what Marcus sent me today, for the weigh stations. And these benches are okay, but we had other benches, and I think those would be a little bit better and probably cheaper and easier to move. If you wanna pass that picture around. But the bottom picture on the second page, I thought that would be kind of a nice thing to have for advertisement if we're having events or the rules of the park.
That kiosk thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I also thought we could have, like on one side, whatever advertisement we're doing. And then, maybe we could have like a donation board, because I'm talking to a lot of people and they want a donation box out there. I kinda go back and forth on that. Rome has a donation box and they had it outside and the whole post was completely gone. So they just up and took the whole thing. Now they have one inside their shack, and it's bolted to, I don't know, like a shelving unit or whatever. It's not being broken into lately, but it has in the past. So I guess if someone's really willing to check it every day, that'd be great, but, I just kinda said maybe we could put something on the website, and I would talk to you guys to see how they could donate.
We could set up a QR code there, and that would take
We
them
already
right to the
have
it.
donation spot, and then they can
That'd be
donate.
great.
And we have that set up through finance.
And we have a donation thing on our, online.
Okay,
So-
no one was really aware of that, cause I
Yeah.
said if you go probably to the website, I would think that they had a donation
Yep.
site on there, and they said, oh, I never looked, but the Q&R code would be great, cause
Do you wanna
again,
talk with Tyler?
Mhm.
Sign like a
Make a
permanent
sign with the QR, yeah.
yeah, because I think again, people are spontaneous when they go out there, and they're, oh, yeah, I would like to donate, and, but then by the time they get home, they're not gonna look it up online and go through all that, the Q&R code, I think would get them,
Right.
I think that's a great idea.
And we do have a kiosk like this, we just haven't grabbed it from the airport yet.
Okay,
So winter kinda came this
Yeah.
year and we just ran out of time with that, so we do have one, so we
You
do
gonna pull
plan
that one
on
out of the woods?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yep, you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that'd be good.
So how many benches are we looking for, Susan?
I'm more worried about the weigh stations than the benches. I would really like at least 5 weigh stations.
And they're what, 180 each, you said? 10%, so
Yeah.
$200 each.
So I guess I would personally start with that, and then we could always add the benches later. Or if people want to donate, we can use that donation for benches. The big benches look nice and they hold a lot of people, but then again, I think they're gonna kind of permanently be there and it would kill the grass that's ever under there. So that's why I kind of like these, because they don't really kill the grass, they're easier to move. I would think less expensive, and they look just as nice.
Yeah, those are used in a lot of different places.
Right,
They also- I think
right.
they're called the Aldo Leopold
Right.
style bench.
So these benches, like I said, are nice, but they're a little big and a lot of wood and very heavy to move.
What's the number on it?
He did not give me a number on that. He gave me a number on these benches, which was a little unfortunate, but that's okay.
Okay.
Those ones would obviously be a lot, fair amount cheaper and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, I
Oh,
think,
right.
I
Half the
agree with
lumber.
you.
Price
Those
of
ones would be
lumber.
nice. People could move them, they could make a circle of them if they
Right.
wanted to.
That's
chat.
why I was going with these, but then he gave me a quote for that. But then again, I didn't know if the city had any more picnic benches that they would put out as well. But again, once you get the picnic benches, they're harder to move, they kill the grass, and then when people do move them, they rake up the grass. So I personally like these. But
They could double as like jumps for guys that wanna jump over things too.
yeah, well, I do have a gentleman for the future, I do have a gentleman that is, built the agility equipment for Rome, and I'm getting in touch with him, and I think that would be really neat. And then at the Kennel Club, I know Liz, she teaches the agility, and she would be willing to come out and position it and make sure it's where it's supposed to be, so dogs can actually learn. And again, future for the, if I get approved for the fundraiser, she would come out and do some agility and show everybody and that kind of stuff.
City used to have a bunch of them benches in Robinson Park, the yellow boarded,
Yeah,
blue, and is there any of them?
The guy before me, I think he sold them on the auction.
Okay,
Yeah. And then the ones that we have like maybe 6 left, we use at the ice rink at Aquatics for
Okay.
inside the building,
sure,
so.
okay, well,
And then Jake had an idea if we go to maybe Home Depot or Menards and see if they would donate the wood as a donation, so it would even be cheaper.
how many of those would you like to see? Do you
I would
think?
like at least 5.
5. So you're talking 5 of these stations and 5 benches.
Again, he gave me the quote for those benches. I really would like a quote for these benches instead.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that was just a little misunderstanding on.
But he does that size too.
He would do that as well.
Okay.
So I would just go right now, I would just do the vote for the weigh stations to get them up and moving for his class, and then I can always get him to give me a price on this.
And remind me on these weigh stations, where are these being used at right now?
That is in the Rome Dog Park.
Okay.
So I just went there and took pictures and sent it off to him. The other
And
thing.
have you spoken, do people, is there any problems with these?
No. They actually even have sanitizer, little hand sanitizer in there, and people seem to like that. I'm kind of wishy-washy on that. I could go either way. That's just, to me, that's just another expense.
Yeah, I
It's
think you
nice to
can
have,
Provide
but
your own stuff.
I
if
yeah,
you
I
want
kind of
out
have a
there.
feeling that they're just gonna disappear
Yeah.
at this point. So I probably wouldn't go that route. I would just go with the simple, the lid, the waste containers. And then again, it opens up and then everyone brings their own bags. You know, if you have extra grocery bags, put the grocery bags in there.
All right, so I'm just gonna ask you, silly questions here.
Nope.
So the bags are in the big red box?
Correct.
Okay, and so the waste is going in
In that trash
the
can.
trash can there?
Yes, and that is
Okay.
bolted to the bench. So no one can just take the can away.
Okay.
Is the can included in the price?
Oh, I didn't look, cause I,
Doesn't look like it. So you're looking at
probably
additional-
not, cause he's just doing, he's just
$70.
building it.
That's
So
all there?
what was the cost on the ones that
So
we have
about
out there?
250 each day,
It's like
It was a lot.
$600,
270.
which was all donated, but,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so now you're probably looking at 270.
Yeah, these are a little bit big and, maybe not as appealing as the other ones that were donated, but, because when I was out there last week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, there were no bags in, the station that right when you walk in the door, or right when you walk in the gate, there was no bags in there for those longer days. And someone did start, there's like a little tub there, and someone did start bringing in their plastic bags and putting it in there just so it wouldn't get wet.
Right.
We still can use those bags,
Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of them.
yeah. It would unfortunately just be more work for your guys to walk around and
Yeah.
get more,
Well, who does the ones on the pathways right now? I'm assuming
we
it's
do.
our guys, right?
So it's us.
And how often are we checking those?
Right now, twice a week.
Okay,
Dog park 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
okay.
They have the same bags there?
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay. You're just saying like to save some costs, use some. of
Yes,
the-
to save some costs, cause that's the only bags that they use, is the grocery bags that people bring in.
Okay.
And again, they have extra in the shed, and they have bags of bags.
Okay.
And again, that, we don't necessarily have to fill these all up if we're gonna keep the other ones as
Mhm.
well. But it's just a nice place, like, when I go out to Rome, I bring my bag of bags, and then they are being reused, and then people have more options.
So is that what you think they're about $70 for those cans?
I'm guessing they are
Yeah.
cheap, so, yeah.
And if you see on the bottom left picture, that little box is where they keep the extra garbage bags. But again, necessarily, we don't have to do that if you guys are already cleaning them out, so, if you wanted to lower this cost of $180, we could really eliminate that. But I kinda thought it would be nice to keep for maybe future, if we ever do have the volunteers kinda really picking it up and, because that's what they do at Rome. They just have a big sled and they just go around and throw the bags on there and, like for me, I don't want it in my car, so I just put it next to the gate and one of the guys with their trucks throw it in the back and throw it out. The other thing I would like to add, which I would have no problem doing it as a donation on myself, just going and getting like a wicker basket from Dollar Tree and screwing it to the back so people can put their balls in there or their toys in there. So when you guys do go and mow, you're not having to get off your lawnmower every 10 seconds and picking up a ball or hitting them with the lawnmower. So, but I have no problem, I would be willing to donate those and attach them to the bags.
So are we looking for a motion to go ahead with this, or what are, it says
I think
consider
it would be a
approval.
consider of approval.
Yep.
Just curious, how many poop stations are there now in that park?
5.
5,
And are they just like the ones on the pathways?
yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
And how much do those cost, do you know?
They were over $500 a piece.
Ouch.
They were all, I got donations for them,
Mhm.
but yeah, they're not, it's the post, it's the garbage can, it's the dispenser itself, but signs, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm not a real fan of how this looks, but if you guys can come up with a different look. Because most dog parks that, if you go out to Stevens Point, they have one of the ones that we have that were donated right in the front, but for the rest of the park, all they have is rubber garbage cans. They don't have any bags around there, and you can tell. If you go out to the Wapaka one, they have only 3 and it's probably, I think it's like a 12-acre or 15-acre lot or something, and again, it's right out at the front. And they just have the big rubber garbage bags, or the garbage cans, but again, when you walk the park, you can tell that they need more. So,
You know, it would sure save us a lot of money if people would actually do what they're supposed to do.
right, but it's hard because if you walk in, you know, like for me, I know this is weird, but I walk in and I know my dog only goes once, so I grab one bag, and sure enough, halfway through the park, he goes again. And if I have to walk all the way to the front of the park, I'm not going to do it. Well, not that I wouldn't do it, but
Right.
for most people wouldn't do it, so they're gonna leave it.
Jake, how does this fit into the 25 budget?
It wasn't in the budget, so. But if you're looking at 200 apiece. Do you
Well,
want?
how
more?
many are we looking for to add?
I would like 5.
And where would those go? I mean, I know that there's, so we've got,
Yeah, I try to print out a picture of the map, like of Google Maps of the dog park,
yeah,
in here.
because I know that
Let me
there's
try
the
to do
ones in the
this.
corners and the ones at the entrances to both the small and the large.
Mhm.
And you're wanting these to be more in the big center field area?
Okay, so if you look at this picture, this is where you walk in. And then you walk down that line, that's the small dog park. And then when you come up here, so there is nothing in that corner. So again, if my dog goes to the bathroom and there's not a bag in there, then I have to come all the way back to this corner. Where am I? I have to come all the way back to this corner to get a bag, and then to come all the way back. So I would like one in this corner, between the two. Here's like where the real woods are, and there's one in that back corner and then one on the length of it, but there's nothing right here either.
Yeah.
So if that one can go there, and that's all the pictures I have. Because these pictures are something different. Here's another one on the back. It's the west side, I believe. I think this is the west, where, not Saratoga, what's that other street?
Oak.
Oak. Okay, so this is where Oak is. So one would go there as well. And then 2 would go kind of in the middle. So there's the 5. And then there's only one in the small dog park, which I think that's fine. I really don't think that we need 2 in
So
there.
what if we went with, say, 3 or 4? I mean, if you didn't budget for it, can we try them out and see how that would be? Or would
Well,
any of the
I
other
can't imagine
commissioners-
people not grabbing bags in the way.
Well, okay, so like that time, there weren't any bags, so I
Yeah.
was there Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, and there weren't any bags,
See,
so.
that I don't understand though, because, I mean, are people just pulling a whole roll of bags out to take home with them? I mean, why would you?
I don't know.
Well, sometimes it's like for me, usually I bring my own bags, but if I do forget
Yeah.
or whatever, I will pull a bag, I
Oh.
tie it to my leash, if my dog doesn't use
Yeah.
it, then it just is on my leash
Yeah.
for the next time.
Right,
You know, or if you get a lot of people, like when we had that nice weather, that park was,
yeah.
Very
But how
busy.
many bags fit in those things?
300 probably.
Yeah, so I'm kind of
I'll make a
questioning.
motion to approve 3 of those dog waste stations.
can I make a suggestion? If we only do 3, I don't know if I can get him to build this for free again next time. So if we only do 3, we want, let's say we get him through the summer and I come back and we want 2 more,
Yeah.
we might not,
I'm concerned that Jake doesn't have it budgeted, that's why I
Right,
guess
right.
for his
Yeah.
guidance on,
Yeah.
right. But that was my only thing, is
Yeah.
that I might not get
you know?
him to do,
Yeah.
or anybody else to build more.
We could work them though too, tell them there's more coming. You know, tell them start with 3 and maybe some more in the fall, you know, I mean, you can always work people a little bit.
So you wanna do 3 in the big one and 1 in the small one, there's 4.
4?
3 of the big,
3 of these, of the big, these dog waste stations,
Yeah.
and then 1 in the small dog park.
oh, I don't think we need one in the small dog park, personally. I think, I mean, it's only an acre and it's,
Do you think you can do 4?
People with small dogs, their
Could
poop
probably
isn't
do
visible.
4.
All right,
They never
I'll
pick
amend my
them up.
motion to 4.
I'll second it.
So I have a good feeling that Home Depot or Metcalf lumber, I won't go to Menards.
Okay.
But, we'll probably donate some,
some of the wood.
yeah,
So
some.
would you prefer to say like
Actually,
4 up to?
Andy has dogs in his office.
If you're talking to Andy,
Yeah.
Should I, what if I amend it up to $1,200? And then that way, if you got donated lumber, you could do 5.
Just do an amount.
Yeah.
I'd even just talk to Andy first and
Yes.
say, this is what we're looking to do.
Yeah,
Are you
and I,
willing to
that's what I
contribute?
talked to Susan. but
Yeah,
we'll have
that
to
was
wait
his
to
idea,
see
so.
Okay.
what
So
the
do
price
you
is.
know him? Did you wanna do it or you?
I can ask him.
Okay, that's fine.
All right,
So I'll do a
yeah.
motion for up to $1,200. And that gives you.
I'll
some
second that.
flexibility.
Okay, well, thank you.
Motion and a second for, up to $1,200 for the waste stations. Any further discussion?
Tell them they get naming rights for $100.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition? Motion passed. Okay, do an update on the zoo projects?
Yeah, so far everything's going pretty well. I think I attached just some kind of preliminary plans that Joe Exet put together for the bid work
Nice.
on this. Hopefully to get the bid out this month for the public bidding. Helen's house is going well. We have drywall up. We got everything sprayed on Friday, so we are going to be painting this week. Still waiting for a permit to go through with Tweed and Garrett for the HVAC system over there. But hoping, possibility it might, you could probably start renting it out this coming March, if everything goes well. I put us on the list for adoption for River Otter. Last week, we have adopted one so far. His name is Murphy. He'll be 1 this spring, and he is coming from the Baraboo Zoo. They wanted to introduce 3 river otters over there, but it just didn't work out. So they needed to cut it off at 2, so he'll be coming to us whenever this gets done. Hoping to get 1 more yet, so hopefully a total of 2.
Is there kind of river otter family dynamics that we need to be concerned
I don't
about?
know, I'm not too sure. They said it just when you get more than 2 males, they get very territorial.
Okay,
Um,
okay. I know there's a few out at Lake Nepco area.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, there's at least 4
You
and
trapping
stuff.
some?
No,
maybe?
no, please don't, I love
Okay.
seeing them out there. But I know that they're a family group, and so I was
Yeah.
just wondering if you introduce unrelated ones, if they have issues.
So that could have been the issue with this one.
Okay,
So,
okay,
yeah.
so I guess we'll just see,
yeah.
all right.
Playground equipment was ordered. That actually might get delivered this week at the zoo, so we'll have that for the, hopefully spring, summer.
Nice.
And then that's the bid for putting that together would have to go up too, so we'll get that going on that.
What do we get for Helen's house when we rent that out
That's $150 for the day.
for the day?
Yep.
That's cheap.
Did you say we have to put it out to bid to put that
For-
playground
but-
equipment out?
Yeah, yep.
That's not something where,
No. You gotta have a special license to do that.
Weren't you getting that?
I'm working on it, yes.
Okay.
But as long as we don't have to build playgrounds, I don't need it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Gets-
Oh. All right.
So yeah, so it was like same thing as like the chiller, the city bought the chiller, and then we did the bidding for who installed it.
Right.
so,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just, it's a faster way to get the process going, doing it like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so things are coming together with the zoo projects.
thanks, Jake. Moving on to item 6, Dawn and I talked tonight about putting this on. Basically, just run it by you guys. We've had, this time of year is tough too, because sometimes there's absolutely nothing on the agenda. And so, I don't like to call you guys, a week ahead or have Dawn send out a message that we're not meeting again this week. So we talked about the possibility of having a different schedule, or just asking as a group what the thoughts were about, putting something on your calendar and taking it off so frequently. The winter's definitely a slower time. And so just a little thought of whether and then of course, once we decide, let's meet every other month, then of course halfway through, Jake would find a project that we have to vote on, so then we send out an email vote, so. It's just a question of whether I don't like to, affect your schedules that way by canceling meetings, but it might still be an only solution just because of votes come up that we have to address, so I just thought I'd put that on the discussion. Anybody
Me
have-
personally, I have board meetings on this night, so I'm always around, so it's usually easier to keep it on my calendar than just cancel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm retired, it don't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me.
Well, then we'll just keep it on. I just wanted to give
Yeah.
everybody the
Yep.
opportunity, if it was an issue, to talk about it, so.
Yeah, it's easier for me to keep it on and take it off than it is putting it
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
We're getting stuff done, with the zoo and the otters and the dog park, we're
Yeah.
making progress.
Oh, yeah, today we have a delegate. Moving on to audit of the bills, I did have a chance to look at the bills, check numbers.
I did write on the back with schedule that Susan has. If you guys look at the total, I think it was 55,000, but 37,000 of that was money that we'll be getting back from Legacy for
Okay.
pretty much all the zoo projects. So just let you know, so really I think it was 18,000 and some change that were on the bills from, remember, December, January, and February.
Right.
So it's 3 months worth.
Just because I've never, what's the two park outlays that are kind of big numbers? The Home Depot for 4,600, That was one of those?
Projects at the zoo, yep,
And-
both of those are.
and the Wind Supply as well?
Same thing, yep.
Okay. What is Wind Supply anyway?
It's
Plumbing.
Oh.
plumbing, HVAC.
So that's what I had those circled. so-
Yep.
Okay.
I'll just bring up something here too. We did get we had a lot of requests this year, or actually the last couple of years, when people rent out those red cabanas at the aquatic center. Like we published that it's room for like 12 to 15 people, but when they built the aquatic center, they only had one table in there and a couple chairs. So we did purchase some extra tables and chairs to go in there just to meet the needs for if there's a bigger party there. So we found some on Web Restaurant, I think, so if you saw that in there, that's what that's for.
Okay.
And then, since this is year 5, actually this is year 6, we've had some chairs break, just because they've been used a lot, so we had to purchase 16 more chairs for the pool deck. So that's another cost that's on there.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to approve the audit of the bills for $55,976, of which we're getting 18K back, right?
37.
37 back,
Yep,
yeah, I'm
37
sorry,
back.
it leaves 18.
Yep.
37,951.23 comes back from the legacy.
That's huge.
Do we have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passed. Okay, we're going on to staff reports
Yeah.
then.
Recreation side, basketball, pickleball, volleyball are up and running still. Final games will be the week before spring break, so the week of March 17th. We were approached about adding an adult dodgeball league. by some folks that kind of do volleyball and then also with the flag football. So we're kind of looking into that, reaching out to other communities if they have ever been asked this or if they run anything like this. So time will tell on that. We had 54 swim club members this year. Practices now are Mondays through Thursdays with the season ending February 20th. Looks like they're gonna have one state qualifier. And then the club also hosted their first home swim meet this past January, and it sounded like everything went really well, organized, great feedback on the venue, so hopefully we can do more as the years come. Started the recruitment for summer jobs at the aquatics, the zoo, and other rec positions. We're still looking for a gymnastics instructor for the spring classes. And then we're also working with the community media to get word out on programming, recruitments. So they're kind of helping us put videos together to share on Facebook and Instagram. Alright, and then field staff, last couple of months, the normal stuff with the preventative maintenance on city-owned buildings, salting, sand, snow removals at all city-owned buildings, tree trimming, tree removals. The street department helped us out tremendously. We had 2 staff that were gone for a month, so they helped us out fill that void. We got our tree ordered for our 2025 planting, also for the gravel bed nursery. 15 of those trees are going to be going on the Lincoln Street project. Some projects that we did, painting at Centralia Center. We done some work for PD. Again, street department was helping us with that. Some zoo projects. We took down the, if you guys ever been there, the Wisconsin Rock exhibit. Hasn't been touched in a couple decades, so we took that off. We kind of redid everything. So just kind of spruced it up a little bit.
Okay.
Like I said before, Helen's house, the project's in there. All the Christmas decorations came down. The ice rinks have been busy this year because we've actually had decent weather. We added the 6 to 8 inches of wood chips over at the dog park for the walking trail. I think that's been nothing but positive with that.
Yes, and thank you very
Yeah.
much, by the way, that everybody
That worked out good.
Yes,
So it was a lot. It was 80. I think we did about 80 yards of wood chips. So
yeah, and I only had 4 volunteers.
yeah, so we
So
took
that
the
was a lot of
tractor
work.
and it worked out well. Again, back in December, we had over 70 kids at the aquatic center for Santa, so it was a good turnout with that. And then back on January 29th, we had the skate with the River Kings. We had over 70 kids show up for that. And so far, the Rapids room at the aquatic center has been rented 17 times this winter, so it's been used quite a bit. And that's what we had for winter stuff.
And what is the rental cost on that one?
Depends if, for the Rapids room, it's $250 for a non-resident and $150 for a resident.
Okay.
You're getting some hockey players over there in Robinson Park.
Yeah,
They're not
Robinson
just
Park
a group
is-
of people over there, and
Yeah,
they're out there for a couple hours on some pretty cold nights, so
it's
I think
nonstop
it's good to see
over
that
there,
being
so,
used.
yep,
Yeah,
that gets
good.
used very heavily. And then obviously our skating attendant, the numbers have been up tremendously this year with, like I said, the weather. I think we were open one day last year, so.
Do we ever get those skates sharpened?
No, we haven't, no.
Okay.
I've not done that yet. We've been looking at what it would cost to purchase a skate sharpener. They're pretty expensive.
Okay.
Mostly people bring their own, but
Okay.
there's been a few that have asked.
And how are our prairie dogs doing over
Good,
this winter?
they've been poking up here and there, so, yeah, they're still alive, which is good.
We got to about 200 now?
No, you probably won't find out till probably April, I bet you. So, April, May.
You know, we could open, if we could, you know, put a cam out there, you know,
Yeah.
to watch the baby prairie dogs.
I know.
That'd be a good idea. Good advertisement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adopt a baby.
Oh.
That's all I had.
Okay, thanks, Jay.
How many trees did we order altogether?
Altogether,
Oh, that
this
one
year
was-
was 37.
37?
Yep.
Okay, and that's before this spring sale that we're doing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I
Okay.
forgot to mention that we are doing another tree sale, city tree sale this year. So
Yep.
that was a big hit last year, I think we did over 152 trees, I think, last year, so.
Okay.
How did that work again?
So what we do, we set up on the city website, purchase the tree, like, you don't have to be a resident to come. You, call the office, put an order in, and then we pick it up, I think it was sometime in May.
Yeah, I think
everyone
the
did.
deadline is.
April 12th.
is-
Yeah.
How big
I
are
gotta
these
order one.
trees?
It depends
They
on the
vary.
species.
Yep,
Yeah.
I forgot which ones we have, a couple different.
There's a Japanese one.
There's a Japanese lilac.
Don't get those aren't native.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. We had a lot of requests for
Bird
them.
City person, yeah, I know.
And then Fiesta Fall maple. So it just depended on the species of trees.
Yeah, there's
so-
a couple of really nice crabapple trees,
Yeah.
that were like 6 feet,
Yeah.
they were pretty decent size. The oak, no, it wasn't oak,
we
maple
did
was
oak.
like 8 foot,
Yep.
an 8-foot maple for like 100, it was.
They're $100.
Yeah.
Who are you doing it through?
McKay's
Okay.
nursery.
Jake, were there some slated for the parking lot out in front in those
Yeah,
squares?
that's, yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Thank you.
yep.
Great, yeah, those are, I saw in
Oh, City
the
Times.
magazine, no, the one, the older one, what's it called again?
The newspaper?
No, the one that put out, the community one that comes out for the,
Wisconsin?
no, the,
City Times.
no, the one that we put out for the rec center, for the
Oh, just
Lowell
our
Center.
program?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's in
they
there
were,
too, yeah.
they were pretty heavily advertising there, I
Yeah.
saw right
Yeah.
away,
Yeah.
so that was good,
Yep.
thanks. Drawing a blank on the word
No,
Lowell
that's
Center.
okay.
It's all right. And, so nice.
Okay, anything else?
So, again, I'm new at this, so how do I just talk to you about
Yeah,
what
just
we want?
call or send an email on.
Did
what
you
like.
want some, do they want some of this to look at?
Sure.
Okay, right. So here are some of the pictures I printed out of maintenance for the park, and some ideas there. I don't know.
Gotcha,
Yeah, you're thinking this would be an agenda item for next month?
Yes.
Okay.
okay, cool.
And also, Raptors would like to talk, I guess with Dawn, about the water park, doing that
Oh, like
mutual
what
promotional.
we tried to do last year?
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds good.
Little more advanced planning than last year.
Yes, yeah, because then it rained that day too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out great. It was like, we had everything planned and then like Mother Nature had other ideas that day.
It was terrible last season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. June was horrible.
Okay, then do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, motion
Good
passed.
to work.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Susan.
Yeah.